Should you be picking up these cards because of the ban list? Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Our favorite card in the whole wide world, Hidden Armory over here. Now, this has been a relatively interesting debate because, oh my gosh, Snatch Steal came back off the list. You need to make sure that you run out and buy as many Hidden Armories as you can get. My problem with Hidden Armory is you don't get your normal summon the turn that you play it. Alright, and sure, yeah, you can add your one of multiple Snatch Steal. Yeah, you're fresh with technically 3 copies of Hidden Armory plus Snatch Steal. You are able to maximize on the numbers and able to, do this, but also your opponent has negates. There are cards that will tell you no. Alright, like this happens. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so they let you resolve the Snatch Steal. Okay, well, they're bad position or they have an immediate out to it. I just feel like the value that you get, now I guess depending on the deck, if you've got some sort of combo deck that can, full combo and then, doesn't really care about milling a card or, maybe Tier wants to try the RNG mill 1. I don't think that that's going to work the way that people necessarily think it's going to. It's a cool gimmick. Gimmicks are cool. I mean, they're just gimmicks though. But to run out and go, hey, we gotta buy those super rare Hidden Armories right now, I'm not about it. Like, maybe if we had Premature, then we could talk. That's an entirely different subject though. Like, Premature Burial, that is some good stuff right there. Next up is Terop. So, Terop is an interesting card because this now means that Speedroids are back on the menu. Shout out to all of you Speedroid players out there. Alright, unfortunately, Terop's design was a little bit too generic for its self back in the day. But now you gotta ask yourself, okay, now that we've, brought this back, do we run out and pick up Speedroid cards of all things? Is this the thing to do? If you are clearly a Speedroid duelist, you have already picked up all of your Speedroid cards. Alright, that's like the difference between like future archetypes that are going to be good and then something that is already decent along the way. Now, the biggest reason that they brought back Terop is for goblins. Like, that in Phantom Nightmare we get this rank 3 package turbo deck that is going to look to turbo out, all these little Goblin Rider cards, which those Goblin cards, by the way, are anti-Purely cards. So that's something that you're going to get super excited about. Also, the fact they brought back Terop, but we still don't have MX Saber Invoker. I don't know what in the world's going on with that. At this point in time, Invoker, it feels like it should have been freed, but they really want to try out some, I guess, interesting ideas with that. But Terop, okay, so if you're planning on running out and picking up, a set of these just to like have higher rarities, go for it. Obviously, Speedroid and Goblins are your biggest cute things that you can mess around with, for sure. And Dante, I guess. Next up is the Scrap Package. Now, this is all because of one little card coming back. Mr. Harp Horror himself. Ah, yes, the big, angry boy. I'm happy that Orcust is back in the room, that, players can experiment around with this deck again. But if you're looking at Orcust right now and you're like, oh, yes, this is going to be the absolute best thing. Well, the consideration is the scrap stuff. And the reason why I guess we're looking at the scrap stuff was, I guess, near the end of... I don't remember this far back. Somebody please refresh my memory. Evidently back in the day when we were looking at the former value of Orcust, people were playing the scrap package with it. The problem with that, though, is you've got Horus cards now, and you've got Phantom Knight cards now. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Do I want to play scrap package with this, or rather just play it with Phantom Knight and the Horus stuff? And I think the answer is you're going to play it with the Phantom Knight Horus stuff. I think the scrap package is a little bit too slow. Obviously, dinosaurs are still back here relying on, the power of that. And of course, they're prehistoric. It do be like that. But I think the scrap stuff is not the way to approach this. I could be wrong. Who knows? I think if we do see that happen, though, that we will see an entirely new breed of meta contenders. But we'll have to wait and see. The meta is very open-ended right now in terms of discussion. It's just, I don't feel like you want to look at the scrap stuff. Spell books. Now, this is... Quarter Centuries rocketed up to some crazy numbers. We had a feeling, Majesty's support. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I rattled somebody in the back. The next manga is a story about Crowley and the adventures of the misfit gang of spellcasters, which means, you guessed it, as that lore expands, there's probably going to be a touch of spellcaster stuff. And of course, you've already got the hype train of that running around. All you needed to do was add in the little push of Spellbook Judgment to 3 to have people look at this deck and go, oh my gosh, it's time. We still don't have Spellbook support. I want to point that out. Now that Judgment has returned back to the playing field here at a larger number, you could be gearing up for Spellbook support. That can happen any point at this stage. And I think that's pretty important to consider out here. An investment into Spellbook of Judgment is an investment in the future of the Spellbook technology and the possibility that they could actually get more. I also don't know what they could add to this. But to answer the question, Spellbook of Judgment, 2 secret printings, 7 printings from Rarity Collection. You have 9 printings overall on this card. So it's not like if you're picking these up, you're planning on rolling in the money. No, I was already looking at, I think the Ultras were 2 cents a piece. That's more than current bulk value. Or no, that's worse than current bulk value on certain things. So, okay, that's something. So if you're looking at spellbook stuff right now because of Judgment, the higher rarity stuff, I guess, is the place you want to kind of head. But I feel like, I don't know, it can be a waste of money. And then we have Upstart Goblin. Ah, yes, the card. Ah, yes, everybody can play triple Upstart Goblin now. This is exactly what you want to see. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna take my striker deck to an event. Super excited for this. We can finally play Striker again. Or, the Endymion FTK. And you roll up to your locals. You got the biggest grin on your face. And then you go first. You have the most broken hand ever. Double engage Upstart Goblin. Some other spells. You activate Upstart. And then you get hit with the best card in the room. Your opponent goes on resolution. You're like, oh. And then you get Droll and Lockbirded. And now your best hand just turned to absolute garbage as you can no longer play the game. That is the tale of Droll and Lockbird, this format. While I think it is okay to want to pick up 3 copies of of Upstart Goblin to make sure you have them for the potential of things, my biggest thing is, as long as Droll and Lockbird exist, you're not going to be able to abuse this in the way that you want to. All right, so keep that in mind. If you're looking at Upstarts right now, you're like, oh, I can't wait to play, this cool new deck. Reality's going to come a-knocking, and you're going to be massively shocked by what you're going to find on the other side. Delicious. So what do you guys think? Please, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons! Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.